on this. I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna make this be
And I need to keep my
just
arrow
you.
off the
And
screen.
you're in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, and
I must do that as a nervous habit when I'm talking
what? You, yeah, well, what,
without
moving
realizing.
around your mouse?
Yeah, without realizing it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so why don't you get yourself full screen?
Excuse me. What am I doing with myself?
You're getting yourself full screen. We're gonna go through this introduction again.
Oh, right.
You're gonna get this introduction down pretty cold pretty soon.
I know. Just needs to.
Yeah.
Let me just grab a tissue.
Okay, and then I'm gonna mute myself and then you can start, but just don't forget to share screen after you start talking for a few minutes. And lots of energy and we'll go. Just give it a pause. I'm now muted.
Hi, my name's Louise Spencer. I'm a co-founder of the Kent Street Coalition. Oh, shoot. Did you see that notice come up in the corner?
Which notice? No, what
I
is?
just shut it. I'm going to start over. I got a reminder about a meeting.
Oh. I did not see it, so.
I
that
don't
might
know
be
how to
just on
shut
your
that
computer.
off.
Okay, I'm gonna count down to 3, then I'm gonna stop or mute myself and you can start whenever you want to. 3, 2, 1, mute.
Hi, my name's Louise Spencer. I'm a co-founder of the Kent Street Coalition, and we're here doing a series of tutorials on visibility. Today's is the first in the 4-part series, and it is looking at visibilities through the size, small, medium, or large. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll walk through some slides. Okay. So one of the first things to ask is, why do we do visibilities? They are an important organizing tool that bring us together as advocates, help us build membership, solidarity, and community. And to the extent that we're doing this also with other groups, it helps us to build out coalitions and power. We also do them to support our champions. There are a lot of, particularly our elected officials who are out there working under really pretty difficult circumstances right now, whether it be showing up at the State House or meeting with constituents in the communities. It's important for them to know that we have their backs, that we're going to be there for them when elections roll around, but that we also really are supporting the work that they are doing now, and to be the wind under their wings. Likewise, it's an opportunity to hold bad actors accountable. Again, we have elected officials who are voting for things in Concord that are not in the interests of our communities, that are not reflecting New Hampshire Granite State values. We need to bring that home to our communities and let people know. People are leading very busy lives. It can be hard to keep up. And when we do a visibility, it's an opportunity to say, hey, did you know that so-and-so voted to raise our taxes, or so-and-so voted to ban abortion? These are important things for our neighbors to know. This is particularly true in red towns where the electeds themselves are not going to bring those messages home. The local paper may have a slant toward a more conservative bend and may not even publish letters to the editor that don't reflect that. So by getting out there in the community with our signs, we're able to go right to our neighbors directly. And in that way, we can really highlight the issues that impact our communities. We can personalize it to our communities. So instead of just talking about, for example, that school vouchers are going to negatively impact our schools, we can talk about the exact amount it may cost our town if school vouchers become law. And then finally, we hope to grab media attention so that we amplify the message that we're bringing home locally to the wider community, and we're building some momentum behind our messaging. So today we're talking primarily about the most simple type of visibility, which is just getting out on the street and holding signs. This can be small, can be medium, it can be large. We will go through in our other tutorials about some visibilities that go beyond signs. We'll talk about some of the logistics, and we'll talk about some of the ways we make materials for the activities that we do. So messaging is critically important and should be the overall guide as we do our work. We're wanting to think about simple, clear, concise messages that will move our point forward. And we can do this through small, that's one, it can be one person, can be 5 people. Medium visibilities, where they take a bit more planning to try to gather 5 to 25 people. And then we might do a rally or a protest or an event that is 25 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. That's really up to communities to decide what is needed. So for messaging, we want visuals. This is the people passing quickly. They don't have a lot of time for nuance. They don't have a lot of time to read. We want simple, easy to read. We also need it to be easy to be understood, avoid inside baseball, avoid jargon, be able to explain it to a middle schooler. And you want it memorable. You want something that will grab attention. Good ways to do this is having bright colors, good graphics, and using humor. Again, with messaging, you want to keep it short and snappy. Think an advertising tagline. Those get stuck in our head because they're short and sweet. We want the same sort of thing going on. Using humor, you can add a prop, and you can dress up in costumes. Anything to draw attention to your message. Here's an example of Melissa down in Homestead. And as you can see, one person with 2 very bright, clear, simple message. It really is effective. Again, shorter, sweeter, tends to be more memorable. Add a good graphic and you're good to go. Humor is the best. It really not only draws the attention of those who are passing by, as you can see, free vasectomies, but also it's the thing that is most likely to grab the attention of the media. I would say very poignant images grab the attention of the media, and humorous messages. And so in this case, we did a visibility in front of the State House, or in front of the Bedford complex when they met down. Oh no, this was the drive-in theater, when they met at the drive-in theater. Drive-ins are for movies, making out, not for the New Hampshire State Legislature. And this was picked up by the AP. This is an example of how you can use a prop effectively. This is showing what it is for kids to be separated from their parents with the simple message of ICE took my mom, and now these children alone behind bars. We found that with passerby, people walking by, people driving by, were very moved by this image. And here again, this is, you can dress it up. It's attention getting. It makes people turn and say, hey, what's going on? And then they take that extra minute to read the sign and to read the message. So you want to be able to stand out in a crowd and you want to be memorable. The holding signs can be political, can be social, it can be fun. It's a great way to build our advocacy teams, to make connections so that we can then move from there to some of the other advocacy work that we do. So it can be as simple as one sign, one person. It can be a couple of signs, a couple of people. This can still make a really big impact, especially on the media. Here's a very memorable, poignant reminder about the toll that COVID has been taking. This was earlier on, obviously, in the pandemic. This drew a lot of attention. Again, Melissa at Homestead, just holding a very simple message. This drew national attention, national media. It also caught the attention of, at the time, the Democratic presidential candidates during the primary season. If you only have a couple of people, there are creative ways to hold more signs and more messages. Here it's with a simple clothesline and 2 people holding a clothesline with a variety of messages aimed at some of the bills. Oh, this was aimed at Gordon MacDonald's nomination for the Supreme Court. Sometimes you don't actually have anyone available to hold the signs. And then you can do a Burma shave type of approach where you create the signs and you put them up for drivers going by to see. In this instance, it was when there were the vaccination clinics being held at the Speedway. We put up some signs that would draw attention to the fact that we needed to do better. And then a small group can also break up the message so that people are more inclined to read through, oh, that's one sign, another mass shooting, still no gun control. How come New Hampshire legislators? It really is another way of catching attention. And that's what we want to do with these signs. Then once we've caught the attention, we need to make sure that the signs convey a simple, clear message. Again, just a few people with some effective messaging. Now you can go toward a bigger visibility, 5 to 25 people, you get your group together, you pick a time and a date and a space, and you might, with these larger visibilities, in addition to the signs, add a prop or 2 that can really help get the attention of the media. Again, when you get the media's attention, it's just another way of amplifying what we're trying to get out to our communities. Banners are a very helpful way of giving a very simple message as well. And we do find that the American flag is something that should not be co-opted by the right, and that we bring to a lot of our visibilities to show that dissent and protest and participation in democracy is patriotic. You can do an event that occurs every week, so people get to know that you're there, both people that might want to choose to participate in holding the signs, or people going by. You'd be surprised, they're on the lookout for you. They wonder when you're not there. And it builds momentum and builds attention. You can do this in your local community. At Kent Street, we also often go to the State House because it's right here in Concord. But you can think about the places that would draw the most attention in your own communities. We also traveled to Homestead, some of us. And again, you can use costumes. Now, large visibilities are perhaps you're already part of a very large group, or you feel that you're wanting to make a bigger statement, show that there are large numbers of people who are agreeing with the point of view, wanting to show electeds and our neighbors that there's a lot of support or a lot of opposition. So you might want to look beyond your group to include coalition partners and to try to build it out so that the numbers themselves are part of the message. We've done this effectively with education budget issues. This was people came from all over the state to fight for better, fuller education funding. And sometimes the event takes up the whole plaza. Sometimes it takes up the whole State House lawn. In your community, you can think about where you would have a large event. So just to kind of bring it back, think about short and snappy, use humor, use props, use costumes. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the upcoming tutorials. Remember, it can be anything from one person, one sign to many signs and many people. Think outside the box, have fun. The sky's the limit. You can make a difference and you will make a difference. So thank you very much.
And okay, I'll give a countdown to me going mute, and then you can take a breath and then start with Susan Collins, right? Oh, go ahead and put, you don't want to see yourself. Put Susan Collins up on the screen now.
Isn't it up there?
No, I'm not seeing you sharing screen.
Oh, let me do that.
You still can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna,
Wait, okay. But now am I covering the protest?
yes, you are, but it's only on 2 slides, so what?
Well, you can move me to the bottom. I think you can just grab it and move it.
Then am I gonna move you back? I mean, I can move you to the bottom. Is that gonna look weird? Just in the middle of this thing, suddenly you're at the bottom?
No.
Okay, we'll do that. So, oh, it's Lucas. Look at Lucas. We projected now. All right, great. So I'm gonna do a 3, 2, 1, and then mute myself, and you can start.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, mute.
Yeah, so one of the things you want to think about is looking for opportunities where you can get your message out. So events happen across the state all the time. In this instance, Susan Collins was coming to New Hampshire. We thought it would be a great opportunity to protest Kavanaugh. And so we worked with coalition partners to show up. It was a fairly spontaneous event because often you don't get a lot of notice about when people are coming to the state, often because they're trying to avoid having protesters show up. So you put the word out, you get whoever you can, and you try to have effective signs. An event like this also provides a great opportunity for doing some bird dogging. And in fact, we were able to speak to a number of the participants and get some good film about Kavanaugh. You're going to have to, for some reason, it's not allowing me to.
Right. So go ahead. So I'll stop the recording.